Alright, have the other ring stand ready, and I'm going to set up my cold side now. What I'll need is the little vacuum adapter and a 100 milliliter round bottle flask. Remember, just like the simple distillation, they're just going to be over here to catch all this distillate. So I'm going to start by getting my clamps on here first. Now, just like when we did our simple distillation, we're putting this on kind of loose. We don't want it so loose that it falls, because of course that stuff will break, but we want the ability to move this relatively easy, because we're going to figure out our placement by temporarily putting our condensing tube through here. And you can see I'm not even anywhere close. I need to lower this just a little. I'm loosening these up, making sure it'll slide down nice and safe and not put too much stress on the glassware. And I'm just going to adjust this until I get it right. Alright. Once I have it right, I'll go ahead and get these clamped in tight. I don't want to leave it like this because there's nothing really supporting this. So, going to remember our horizontal bar. Got that tightened up. I'm going to check all my connections, make sure they're still tight, and then drop in our fingers for that center part. Double check all of our secureness. We got this pretty well secure. We can get a little bit of stability there. Alright, now, this side here, sitting out free like this, we don't normally like it like that, but that actually pays off with the next step, because sometimes we'll be collecting stuff that evaporates fast, so you'll sometimes have an ice bath over here. It won't be necessary for this week's lab, but we do want a beaker there, and we're going to hold it in place with just an iron ring stand and a wire gauze. And that's just so if anything happens, something falls over here, we're more likely to break a cheap beaker as opposed to a somewhat expensive round bottom flask. Alright, now next step is the water. Remember, we're kind of doing this just like before with the simple distillation, so you'll go into the bottom, out the top. And again, watch that. Didn't have too many go spraying last week, but it'll happen sometime. Now, before we start heating this one, we got one more thing. Gonna put our thermometer in there. Now, getting the temperature off this is not going to be super accurate because you're getting most of the fumes that are coming up here, the vapors, and we're going to get some varying temperatures on that. So you're going to see the temperature here vary. What sometimes happens to help you know that you're done is that you'll get a rapid temperature change. We hope to see that with this slab with the methanol. It's not a big deal if it doesn't. Alright, so when we're ready to go, we'll just raise this up and use a little nut in the back to tighten it in place. And then you're ready to turn that on and go. Now remember, on this fractional distillation, we can kind of just crank this all the way to full at first. And then once we get a simmer going, you'll just back off the temperature until you can maintain a simmer. You want to maintain a simmer. It's alright if it's somewhat violent boil. I mean, you have the boiling chip in there, so it should actually boil pretty easily for you. But it's going to boil. You're not going to see a lot of collection here until you see basically the vapors get up to here. It's going to take a while for the vapors to get through here, but once they do, you'll start seeing actually your purified product coming out relatively fast. And it's all going to collect over here. This lab should go about the same length as simple distillation, just because the methanol mixture now has a little bit more water to it. So it shouldn't simmer quite as long as it did for simple distillation. Alright, good luck, have fun.